Hello, people of the world. Ben Lavender here, the Madison Podcast. You know who I am, and if you don't, you should. Today we have, I could say now, a good friend, special guest. We've been doing business for a while, and this gentleman has many good stories, actually. I don't know if we'll be able to get to all of them today, but we'll do our very best. Mike Petit Frere of Power Move Realty, a real New Yorker. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you for having me, Ben.
Of course. So thank you again for coming. Let's start off with the story, the watch story.
Okay.
Right. So, Mike, actually, before we even get to that, let's, because we should actually do a brief intro on what you do and who you are. So let's do that first, and then we'll get to the watch story. Mike, tell us how long, I mean, I know, of course, but how long have you been in the business? Give us like kind of how you got into it, the typical, just very briefly.
So I've been in the business since 2016. In fact, I was in the same room with my broker taking a test. But he passed. It took me 11 times to pass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
11? Oh, shit.
Yeah, but 2016 December, that's when I passed. And then from there, I've been rocking and rolling, and the business been booming for me for about 2 years now. Yeah, about going on 2 years.
So, okay, the watch story has to wait because that's important. So 2 years is interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's about to be 2026. Yes. The business started to get really tough in beginning of 2022. That's when like rates spiked and it was a whole mess. So the question I have is that how did you start getting business rolling in what, 2023, I'm guessing?
2023, yeah.
Mid-to-end 2023 when business was tough.
Yeah.
Because that is the objection that I don't only hear from realtors in the business, but loan officers too, is like they're waiting for the market to boom and you essentially made it boom yourself. So how did you do that?
So at that time I was dealing with a lot of buyers. So I was doing so many open houses for the company.
Can you define so many? How many?
So I was probably doing like 2 open houses every weekend.
Oh, wow.
So from like 10 to 12, then 1 to 3.
Got it.
And we bounced around. I was heavy in Elmont, and really Elmont. Yeah, only Elmont. We had a lot of listings in Elmont, and a lot of people was interested in the homes, but they were either underqualified or sometimes we already had a buyer for the house, so we were just doing open houses just to get more business.
Right.
So yeah, I was dealing with a lot of buyers, and I was just showing houses. I was being relentless. I was showing probably like 5 to 6, 10 listings in a day if I could. If I could do it every day, I would have, but I had to go with their schedule. So I decided to, instead of doing during the week, I made the appointments on the weekends, and I try to start it at 10 in the morning and until we found something.
So your primary business started flowing from leads from the open houses.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So and then how did you expand that? Because you got some decent listings as well.
Yeah.
How did you go about getting sellers?
So in December of 2024, I was speaking to my broker, and I just told him, it's too much running around with buyers.
Right.
And I'm a person that value my time. Not saying I'm a person that value my time. So I said, I appreciate the fact that, showing buyers, the sellers just either this listing agents sit back and have the buyer agents come to them.
Right.
And they truthfully don't have to do much, and they regulate whose offer they're going to accept and whose offer they're not going to accept. And I wanted to be in that position of power, so I just said, the beginning of 2024, I'm going to focus on listings.
Right.
So
what was the plan? Like, how did you attack that?
So my broker, he gave me his game plan, what helped him out. So we prospected in front of Home Depot, door knocking.
Yeah.
Door knocking was my thing. 'Cause to me, I find it therapeutic, and also.
Wait, before you go on, Mike, because that's a big one. Because another thing that I get from people in the business is that they hate door knocking. So if you find it therapeutic, what do you enjoy about it?
I think one, just being outside, getting in fresh air, talking to people, even if they're nasty. I've dealt with a lot of nasty people, but I realize they're miserable.
Right.
Not too long ago, I door knocked a home, and I left my door hanger on his door, and he was pulling in the driveway, And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And he got out the car. I could curse?
Yeah.
He got out the car and said, don't put this shit in front of my house. I said, oh, I apologize, sir. You know, I'm just here introducing myself. I don't give a damn. Don't put that shit in front of my house. And, you know, I guess he was trying to impress the ladies he was with. And he got out the car. He went to the front door. Mind you, his car's in the driveway. Yeah. But he didn't get a chance to pull in the driveway. He parked in front of his driveway. He got out the car, went to the front door, took my door hanger, and ripped it.
It's aggressive.
Yeah, I felt it in my chest. You know, I wanted to say something, but I'm like, okay, sir, I hope you have a blessed day. Enjoy your day.
It's a good way to handle it.
So, yeah, man, don't put that stuff in. I'm like, okay. And I just walked away and went to the next house. Yeah. And that's it. But it's therapeutic for me. You know, prior to that, I used to work for a solar company.
Mm. So that's great training.
Yeah, so exactly. But I didn't take that seriously.
Right.
Because, I'm a person that value my time. So I didn't see the opportunity at that moment. But when I was working with the solar company, I was like, I'm wasting time because what can I get out of selling solar?
Right.
But then sometimes I have these moments with myself that I sit down and, you know, reevaluate my life. And I'd be like, okay, that was a learning lesson. If I could door knock for solar, something I didn't even believe in, why can't I not door knock for myself, for my business? And that right there just took me to the top.
What's your typical go-to when you're door knocking in terms of script?
Okay, so this is my thing. So knock on the door, I'll ring the doorbell. Hey, how you doing? I'm not selling anything. My name is Mike. I'm with Power Move Realty. I've been doing a lot of business in the area. So I decided to introduce myself to homeowners in the neighborhood to ask them one simple question, just a question. It's honest to God truth, just a question. And they say, what's that? The question is, have you ever thought about selling this beautiful house? Either they chuckle, they laugh, they say no. If they say no, which is perfectly fine. If you don't mind, I left this in front of the door handle. If you know anybody that may need my help, please, pretty please. All I ask is please just pass on my information. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Perfect.
That's it.
Yeah, so I want to touch on something because part of that pitch, short, sweet, funny, but I think the most important thing is that you disarm them in the beginning by saying that you're not selling them anything, right? Because typically when you get someone that knocks on your door or calls your phone, the first assumption is that, and then it stops you from being willing to anything that they have to say, right? So I don't know if you do it on purpose or it's just instinct to you, but it's something so simple, but it's huge.
It's from trial and error, you know. So remembering the training from solar, that was the thing. We're not selling anything. We really wasn't. And so in the same thing with if I'm pitching or introducing myself to get your business, I'm not selling you anything. I'm just letting you know the business that I do in the area.
Right.
You know.
Okay, so let's go back because we were talking about sellers, door knocking, which obviously you're very good at. What else?
Cold calling.
Cold calling. Okay, what do you call it?
Call inspires.
Okay.
So that's something new on my belt this year because last year I didn't do it, and I realized the winter time it got cold.
Yeah.
It got cold outside, and it got cold in the bank account because I was door knocking, and I couldn't do more than one block. Usually I do 4 to 5 blocks if it's spring, if it's the weather admits itself. But when it was cold, one block. Sometimes even I always say to myself, finish the food on your plate.
Right.
You got to finish your food. So I have to do a mandatory 1 block, but then I have to go because it was too cold.
Yeah.
Then I realized it was crickets.
And this winter in particular is brutal, by the way. So the cold calling you started doing this year. Have you found it? Most people hate cold calling.
What do you mean by how I found it?
Like how have you found? Not literally how you found it. How have you found the experience of it?
Oh, it's fun. Yeah. Again, it's the same thing as door knocking, but you're in the house, and it's ongoing. We use Red X, and it's just a flow. So I used the same pitch. Hey, how you doing? Is this the owner of whatever address? Is it still available? Usually they say no.
Yeah.
And I said, oh wow, what happened? Did you guys sell the house? You guys change your mind? We don't want to talk about it. Blah blah blah. Okay, so I say, okay, to help me follow up better. What was the issue? Was it the time it took to sell, or was the frustration of dealing with the listing agent? And then they'll tell me what's the issue, and then we go from there.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you're being more inquisitive as opposed to just like trying to sell them immediately, which is, in all honesty, it's just like basic communication, but it's polite and it's professional. Yeah. Okay, so that stuff is all working for you. I'm glad that we got all that. Something that we talked about before, again, you've been in the business for about 9 years. You started really pushing a couple years ago. What was the catalyst that led to that push?
People usually say, their kids, their family. For me, it's proving people wrong,
Yeah. Let's talk about that. That's great.
I get a fix out of that. Like even right now, like I have a point to prove. Like even being here is the opportunity. Like the opportunity that you're giving me.
Of course, it's a pleasure. Thank you for
prove.
Coming.
Thank you. It's a point to prove. Like I'm here. I'm coming for everything that I want, plus more.
What is it that you want, Mike? Tell me.
Man.
Pretend I'm the genie.
Okay, so everything that I want right now. So of course money. But of course, assets. I purchase assets weekly, securities. To be exact, stock market and stuff like that. And other things that's on my hit list. I don't want to say too much because words is powerful, and evil spirits, evil minds. But I like to prove people wrong. I hear friends I used to speak to. They, I'm hearing certain things they say about me. And just the best way to get at anybody's success.
I think also, like, people that judge you, it's more of a reflection on them than it is you, right? Because it's like if you, let's say these are people that you've known for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, whatever, and you end up going here in a financial way, right? And they're stuck here, or maybe they're up a little bit too, as long as it's more than you. It just says to them, like, it hurts because it's a mirror. Yeah. Right, and it's like I could do that, but what's easier for me to do is they've got three choices, right? They can elevate themselves, they can not do anything and just be happy for you, or they can do the third thing and hate, so to speak, right? So the best thing to do is number two, is just be happy for you. Anytime I see a friend, family member, that's the approach that I take personally. But I also know people who have, a little jealousy, talking about like that evil eye. That's a real thing. People, I don't know why, but they can't be supportive. It's strange and it's unfortunate because you can be happy for other people doing better than you. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's easier to hate than show love. So people would rather
that is true. Actually, it's the same reason why like social media content that goes viral, it tends to be negative stuff with people yelling, right? Because it's just it speaks to like this primal thing in you. It takes more self-control to be happy, to be positive, to be disciplined. Okay, so speaking of disciplined, that was an unintentional segue. You're very disciplined in terms of your daily structure on how you approach it. Can you tell me, like literally just give me your daily schedule on how you work the cold calling, the showings, etc.? How do you work that into your day?
So if I didn't have a night out in the town, I wake up usually probably around like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
That's early.
I can't help it. I go downstairs in the gym, work out. Then I come upstairs, I eat my little eggs and protein yogurt. If you haven't noticed, I've been in the gym. But anyway. And, I wash up, get ready for the day. I try to meditate after I shower. I try to meditate. That's something new I'm trying to do. So I do that between 8 to 9 to 8:55. When 8:55 come, I set up my my iPad to do my calling. So I call expires from 9 to 11.
2 hours, okay.
9 to 11, and it's very effective for me. 9 to 11, then I eat my lunch, start getting ready to make my way down to New York. I currently live in New Jersey right now. When I get to New York, at probably around 1:30, 2:30-ish, 3 max. Check on my mother, give her medications, then I'll start door knocking. I door knock. I try to get out by like 4 o'clock. Depend on daylight savings, honestly. So if it's like the spring, summertime when the sun goes down later in the day, I'm out door knocking by 4:30 to like 7:40, 7:30. When the sun go down, then I go back into my mom's house. Then I call from like 8 to 9 because we gotta stop calling at 9.
You're working 12 hours a day.
Yeah, because I need 12 hours of money. So yeah, I'm gonna do what I need to do.
I like that.
To get it done. Like I have goals to smash.
That takes. I mean, I admire it because
this has been the last 4 months. That regimen been the last 4 months for me, and I see it.
But it's working for you.
Yes.
That takes a lot of discipline. Like I said, I respect it. That's not easy to do. Most people can't do that once, let alone do it for 4 months straight. One thing I wanted to ask you, Mike, was your follow-up post these meetings. How do you actually convert these cold calls or the door knocking? Not how do you do it specifically in terms of what your pitch is, but how does the cadence look of getting that lead into contract, whether they end up referring you someone that's looking to buy or to sell or selling themselves?
Okay, so let's speak for right now. So right now, because of the holiday season, I don't know, I'm getting a lot of after the holidays.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping in contact. I'm keeping it warm. I call them, make little jokes like, "Do you need me to rake your leaves?" To keep things fun, to let them know it's not just business with me.
Right.
And some people are desperate. We list them, and we get the house under contract under 30 days. So if you're having issues, contact me. I can get your house in contract under 30 days. But
it's true. I've seen it.
So again, after this, I got to listen to appointment. But always working. But yeah, just following up. If I try to do it, my follow-up days are Sundays. So whether it's a call or text, you're gonna hear from me.
Right.
And that's.
Why'd you pick Sunday out of curiosity?
I mean, because Sunday's the Sabbath day, right? But no, because I'm working.
Well, not for you, because you're working.
Yeah, but right. I'm working Monday. I work Monday. I'm prospecting Monday through Saturday. And Sundays I felt too much. I had too much idle time. So I'm asking myself, what can I do just to make me feel better about myself that I'm still working?
Yeah, you're relentless.
And I don't want to, on Sundays a lot of people work 9 to 5. So I don't want to bombard them with calls and try to speak to them. These are people resets days to get ready for Monday. So I said, let me just keep it light. People that I spoke to already, that I'm familiar with, even if they forget. Right. I send them a light text or call, depending on what I wrote on the notes. And I just Sunday, that's what it was for me.
And when you're doing the follow-up, is it just like a quick text or a quick call? It's like you're saying it's light.
Yes. Hopefully something shift in the market as far as a power meeting, Fed cuts or something like that. So I just update them with
that's cool.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. The Fed probably going to announce more Fed cuts coming soon, by the way.
Yeah.
And on top of it, for those of you that don't know, the Fed is ending quantitative tightening and restarting quantitative easing. So that will help. Hopefully they purchase a lot of mortgage bonds, and that reduces interest rates. But we shall see. Okay. So something that you touched on before we started recording is that you felt like the business has saved your life.
Yeah.
Right. That really stood out to me. What does that mean to you?
So I was doing, before I started taking the business really serious, doing the work that the business requires, I was doing a lot of waste of time, wasting my time, non-productive, non-income producing things that was wasting my time, which was causing stress into my life.
Right.
As far as bills or relationship. Well, those are the only things that was causing stress into my life, was bills and relationship.
Yeah.
And I had to sit down with myself, and I said, I'm in the industry. I have a license. I'm in an industry that has untapped potential of income I can make. All I have to do is do the work. And then I spoke to my broker, to LeVar Delmas of Power Move Realty, #1 guy. And he said the same thing to me. And when I speak to myself and somebody speaks to me that says the same thing, I always say, that's God talking to me. That's the universe speaking to me. And I just listen to it. And I stayed focused. I stayed diligent. I did the work. And now here I am. I saved my life and paid my bills. Didn't save the relationship, but my bills are paid.
If you don't mind me asking, Mike, what were you doing before that you assessed was a waste of time?
Okay, I was doing solar. Not saying solar is a waste of time because people were making money in the business.
Yeah, it's a waste of time for you.
For me, but it was a waste of time for me. I was working in in places that you help individuals that were in need. Not saying it's a waste of time, but it didn't serve me, my purpose in life.
Well, I think there's nothing wrong with saying that, Mike, because as the saying goes, you can't really help people until you help yourself first. Like, you need to be in a position of strength to help other people. So there's absolutely no shame in that. And then when you started to grind, did you just start doing like everything at once, or was it a slow build up of like you added one thing at a time?
It was a slow build up. It was the buyers, and then I realized my time is just as valuable as the sellers. Then I said, let me focus on sellers because I like the control.
Yeah.
I like to be the quarterback, and I love it, and I just love sellers. When I speak to sellers, that they're in full of doubt, and I just make them believers.
Right.
I just make
how do you do that?
It depends. So there's houses that need a little work or need a little loving. They had a chip painting. I know, okay, appraisal might red flag this. So I said, you know what? Because you believe in me, I'm gonna let you know I believe in you. Right. I'll put I'm making an opinion like, maybe we need to let's paint the first floor over. I don't have that money. It's okay. I'll put the cost up.
Oh, wow.
I'm not afraid to put my money up.
Right. Yeah, that's, I don't know, I can't name one person I know that does that. I'm sure a few do, but that's something that separates you, right? Like, not only do you work hard, and what I've also noticed about you, Mike, is like you're very positive, right?
Oh, yeah,
you're a hardworking guy that's very positive.
That's a story. That's another story.
And another thing is that you're very solution oriented. Right, like you're all the problems like excuses. We said earlier, like people want to be victims, people want to be blame everything, but you just kind of take charge. Yeah, I mean, look, it's infectious. Yeah. That's the truth. Yeah. But I interrupted. You said you had another story. What was it? Go ahead.
About positivity.
Yeah.
There was a point in my life. I think I was in a dark place, like when I was like 24, 25, 26.
How old are you now?
35, turning 36.
Okay.
So about 19 years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know this is before I think I was failing my real estate license. Yeah. And I didn't know where I was going in my life. And my mom was, she was, asking me like, what are you doing with yourself? You're 25, turning 26. Like, right. Your friends is an accountant, your friends are teachers, Caribbean stuff, they're going to compare you to your friends that's doing better, whatever. And, and I was just like, I got to focus. I just got to figure things out. And I just started reading books. Like, I started reading Napoleon Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like the number one author for me. Outwitting the Devil.
Great one.
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
Jeff Nelson, I think. Just reading self-help books and just talking about the mental, how to think. And I just started practicing that. And then I also, eating, dieting, exercising. So.
All right, Mike. It's time.
What's up?
Tell us the watch story.
Okay, so there was a time in Miami.
Miami.
It's a beautiful place, but it's also dangerous. I suggest if you go to Miami, you go there with friends. Go there with friends. Hopefully one of them don't drink as much. But it's 2021. The whole day was odd. I was beefing with my girl at the time. She told me don't go, whatever. Yeah. I went. But anyway, I went. It was Club Live. It was on a Sunday, and I was with a friend. Let's say associate. It was not somebody we speak when we're in New York. It's a person that I see him in New York. Hey, what's up? But when we're in like Florida, we bump each other, Florida or LA or whatever.
It's like a party friend.
Yeah, party friend. Like, okay, we from New York. We both from Queens.
Yeah,
we're cool. So we with him. I was with him. We got into Live. We seen some friends that had a section, and then that's it. That's what I remember.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so now, fast forward the next day, mind you, I had my watch on. It was my dream watch. I manifested it. I still have it in my phone. I woke up in the hospital the next day, like on a gray, the surgical bed. It was gray, the gray metal bed, whatever. And I woke up like it was like a movie out of scene. Like it was a movie out of Saw, a scene out of Saw movie when you just wake up in the chair and just like, where are you? I got off the bed, the stretcher, whatever it was. I couldn't feel my legs. And it was an empty hallway. I left the room. I crawl out. It was an empty hallway, and I'm screaming like, "Help! Help! Help! Help!"
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to laugh.
No. This is a real story. Yeah. This is a real story. Then the nurse, whoever came out the office, like, relax. I said, "Where am I? What happened? What's going on?" I looked at my wrist. I see my print of the watch is gone.
Shit.
I check my earrings, gone. My earrings are screwbacks.
This is the Datejust.
This is the Datejust too, yeah. So, and I'm like, what happened? She said, relax. She brought me back into the room, and she said, okay, you didn't hear this from me, but the fire marshal said somebody called in. They said they seen you getting pushed out of a car. I said, what? And I started crying. I just started crying because they said the fire marshals, they put something under my nose to wake me up. They said they needed to do, it took 2 of them to wake me up. They said, which means you was like out of it. They said my heartbeat was slow. But long story short, they said I could have died or something like that. I just started crying because I'm like.
But what, someone like spiked your drink? I mean.
I don't know.
You don't just randomly black out.
I don't know. And mind you, I've had party nights before.
As we all have.
And, but I just never felt like that. I didn't have no hungover, no nothing. I was just regular. Like, I was just, besides my feet not working.
Someone spiked your drink, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the cop said. The cop said, yo, there's drugs that, you'll wake up perfectly fine. That's what I feel. Because I've never felt that way. But, it was like probably the next day, they had my phone. I found my phone. I called everybody that was looking for me. My friend, they say, yo, bro, we was looking for you. Everybody was calling, looking for you. I was just so distraught. I booked my ticket. I was supposed to leave probably like 2 days after. I booked my ticket to come home that day. And I was so mad at myself for me to get violated like this. That Friday, it was probably like I came home that Tuesday. That Friday, I bought myself this watch.
Nice. And that is, show it to the camera. That's the Sky Dweller. That one.
The Sky Dweller, yeah. Yeah, so
it's a great one.
Thank you.
It's
shout out to you. That's a Daytona, right?
Yeah, it's the Panda. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
That's the Sky Dweller is one of my favorites, actually. That's a beautiful one, 2-tone 2, which is nice. So this experience, and it's okay if nothing came from it in terms of like business wise, but no. Do you feel like that's what happened? Like it was a wake up call type of thing?
Yeah, it told me to tighten up. Like I just can't be going out. I guess I was living too free. Yeah. At the time, mind you, again.
Sometimes you got to go through that in life, though. Yeah. It's okay to have.
Yeah, and me living like that, I lost some friends, and that's when this goes back to proving people wrong because people remember that person.
I see what
partying,
you mean. Yeah,
and they thinking I'm just the party man, the party animal, but not this business.
Party
man.
Mike.
Yeah. So this is that. This goes to the proving people wrong. This energy, this guy that you see. So
yeah, I mean you have. A very, very obvious, and I mean this in a great way, like you have a fire.
Yeah. Right?
You have a fire to you. You want to prove people wrong. You want to make money.
Started from high school. I mean, earlier than that, but, like I told you earlier, when I mentioned it in high school, I told, it was something, a mask, and I said you don't need school to be successful.
You said this to your pastor.
I said 2 pastors, one in elementary school and one in high school. Both of them made me go to the back, but the one in high school, it hits harder because he called my mom and he made me take back my words, and that to this day that it pisses me off that he made me back down like that, and from then I just
Do you know where this pastor is right now?
I don't know, but I told myself I'm gonna go back to the school. I can say
show him your 1099 next year.
I mean, if this go viral, I will definitely go back to the school and be like, hey. I went to St. John's Prep, by the way, in Astoria, Queens, but yeah. Yeah,
I mean, we don't even have to. I think there shouldn't be a revenge. If anything, just call him and say, hey, I do very well in real estate. If you're looking to buy or sell, please let me know. And maybe you can help him.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to handle that situation. Okay, Mike, we are out of time.
Wow.
It goes by really quick. It's kind of
I had so much fun.
Strange. It's good. It's fun to do. It's also a great way for me to get to know you more. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we've done deals together. We'll keep doing more deals together. How do the people of America reach you?
Okay, you could catch me on Facebook. First and last name, Mike Petit Frere. Instagram, Mike Super Sales on Instagram.
Yep.
LinkedIn, Mike Petit Frere. I'm fixing my TikTok, so we're going to figure that out soon, but yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome, Mike. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you,
coming,
Mr.
man.
Lavender.
Thank you for
Appreciate
sharing
you.
the stories as well. They were really, really interesting and
There's
fun.
more stories.
Yeah, we don't usually get that many, so it's fun to get, and I appreciate you just being open.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome.